Assalamu alaikum students. In the last lecture we have already studied about the Cold War, World War II, etc. In this lecture we are going to study about India's foreign policy. So let's have the introduction part. India's foreign policy means the policy that are used by country to the all other country of the world. The policy adopted by a nation while dealing with other nations. For example, if India is dealing with America. So what are the rules and regulation of policy is known as foreign policy. There are different countries in the whole world, like is America, that is United States of America, India, Pakistan, China, Bhutan, Nepal, etc. So all these countries have their own foreign policy. Likewise, India also have a foreign policy that are the rules and regulation to deal with another country for trade and other purpose. It is from the pre-independence period and it is available till now. We are famous for our expand population, our vast resources, then for our industrialization, then for our strong defense system. India is one of the nation which has a strong and specific foreign policy, that whenever we deal with another country, we have a strong foreign policy, that is rules and regulation framed at the time of trade. India, by securing independence in 1947, became independence, that is sovereign, and is pursuing its own foreign policy to friendship with all nations of the world. So, the objectives of foreign policy are national security, economic development, to maintain good relationship with all other countries, to maintain our national monuments, and to have independence and to give independence to all the countries of the world. So, let's have the explanation of India's foreign policy. Let's learn meaning and all countries are the members of international system. Only this interdependence means depending on each other should not be benefit to a few countries. It should be benefit to all the countries. Efforts need to be made to ensure that its benefits and every nation, either India or Pakistan. Each country has to decide the nation with which it should be friendly, in which it should block participate, means which country we have to trade or in with which we don't have to trade. What position it should take in international relationship. Such decisions should be made thoughtfully. The theoretical framework in which such decisions are taken is called foreign policy. Whatever framework and whatever rules we follow is known as foreign policy. All the independent nations have their own foreign policy, that are rules and regulation. Hence, in the discipline of international politics, which studies the international relations between nations, foreign policy has very important place. Let us learn about national policy. National interest. National interest is fostered. That means that through which the independence and sovereignty of a country can be safeguarded. For any country, national interest is very important. That the citizens of the people are safeguarded. It is generally done to achieve our economic development and to take steps towards increasing our national interest. Means we have to save our own country, our own power. When decisions are taken after giving a careful thought to what is good or what is bad for a country, is then we say that we are improving our national interest. In this sense, the following factors are included in the national interest of our country or any country. Defense, that is the protection of our country's independence. Sovereign, that is independence and integrity, is the highest national interest. It is very important to protect our defense system. Economic development is also an important national system. We want our country to be developed economically. Economical weak nation will never get respect from any other country and would not be able to maintain independence. Hence, economic development is understood to be an important national interest. Next, only to defense. After defense, it is very important. That is, next is foreign policy is drawn up to foster the national interest of defense and to have economic development in the country. National interest is considered to be the goal and foreign policy is considered to be the means to achieve it. I do have a goal and I do have the way to achieve it. Goals of nation change. Normally, when goals change, the national interest will also get affected and it will also get changed. These changes are reflected in the foreign policy. The foreign policy is always dynamic. Dynamic means it gets changed at any other all the time. Foreign policy decides what kind of relationship we have to have with a country. Like for example, USA, I will be having a different relation, and with Pakistan, I do have different relations. So there are some factors, that is geographical location. Some countries are far away from other countries, while there are several neighboring countries around some countries. Like for example, our neighboring countries Pakistan, China, etc. are far away countries, USA, etc. Some nations have a good coastline. In size, population, topography, coastline, they do have good natural resources. So it depends about the geographical location. So, while deciding the foreign policy of any country, it is very important to check the geographical location of the country. Next is political system. In a democratic political system, the nation's parliament, like we are using parliamentary system, plays an important role. When different aspects come from discussion in parliament, the opposition party, for example, Congress party, try to regulate the foreign policy by raising different questions about the same. Political systems have to take into account the important inclinations of the states while shaping foreign policy. It is very important to see towards the states. For example, events in Sri Lanka may affect Tamil Nadu because they are neighboring countries. Those in Bangladesh may affect in West Bengal and the Northeast. Means foreign policy should be good, that no other country or states will be get affected. In modern times, the economic condition of any country, rather than rich or poor, has acquired great importance in deciding foreign policy. As a result, the economy impacts foreign policy in two ways. Number one, foreign policy is shaped by the need to establish economic relations with other country, like by import and export, participation in world trade, all aimed at strengthening the economy of the country. Whenever I import or export, I want my country's development to be the most. The issue of economic security are as important as economic national security. A country is recognized to be powerful in the proportion how much secure it is, that country, it is known as that much powerful. Countries having a strong economy are less dependent on others, and they have an independent foreign policy as well. So, the fourth factor is national leadership. The president, the prime minister, the foreign minister, the defense minister, the finance minister, and the home minister have a role in deciding foreign policy. They meet with each other and then they decide foreign policy. The persons holding this position try to maintain the continuity in foreign policy and to